Welcome back.
Still cool. Bayonetta.
I feel like a fucking celebrity in this town. See that? Everyone rushes at me like crazed fans. They still haven't figured out that I don't give autographs. I'm not much for the talkative types. How about we have a little fun instead? You did plan on having fun with me, right? There'll be plenty of time for pillow talk afterwards.
Oh hell, we got another boss battle. All I can really tell you is hit the glowy bits and hit these other random things that I assume are his fists. Can't really tell because I don't see well. The things I'm attempting to hit right now. And damn it, Bayonetta, why don't you sign autographs? It takes a few seconds out of your day and it makes the fans happy. Come on now. It means the world to them. And in these times of viruses and political and social unrest, division everywhere, if you can bring a smile to somebody's face, why wouldn't you do it? You know, a temporary reprieve from all the problems of the day. And all it takes is signing an autograph. You would think that she'd be willing to do that. But no, actually, looking at the way she is in this game, no, I actually don't think she would be willing to do that. She seems quite selfish. And then whenever these things come up, I guess we're running up its arm. That's what it looks like anyways. This game does a pretty interesting job messing with what I'm going to call levels. I guess the best way I can call it. Yeah, I'm going to miss this QTE, which kind of sucks. Kind of like what I was talking about with the zero-G stuff and related to Dead Space a couple videos back. I guess I could just call it zero-G stuff. I like how they do the different planes. How about that? Elevation. I don't know words, damn it. Give me a break. Gotta attack these things again. But it is actually really interesting. And honestly, if I didn't say it before, I'm kind of enjoying it more than what they did with the zero-G stuff with Dead Space. I like how some places you can jump on a wall and then it just changes your perspective and the wall is now the floor. Pretty cool. What would be cool too is if I could see what I'm doing in this boss battle. I've given up on games actually allowing me to see what I'm doing though. More arm climbing to do. It's almost Shadow of the Colossus. Almost. Except less frustrating. Although speaking of frustrating, well, we'll get there later on this video. I was about to start talking about a level, but I'll wait till we get there so you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to miss this one. There's really no excuse for me missing the other QuickTime event, though. I knew those were things that happen in this game. Luckily, these things not only glow, but they have a nice beam of light that shines out too, which makes them easy enough where usually I can even see them. Walking along. Oh, here we go. Not sure that I'm in love with that stock panther sound effect whenever we change forms. If it was just every now and again it did it, it wouldn't be such a big deal. Although I do kind of like the idea of having an audio cue whenever you go in there. It helps somebody visually impaired like myself. Yes, I got stuck in there. Give me a break. I can't see what I'm doing, damn it. Come on. But I'm going to end up hearing that stock sound effect a lot. Especially later on this video. It does get a little annoying after a while. I definitely think this game had a style to it that they were going for, and a lot of that works, actually. And I did not replay this boss battle. Which figures because I actually enjoyed this boss battle. This seems like one that if I had to replay, I would not have minded doing so. Now granted, I wouldn't want them to go Capcom and have us have to replay this boss battle within the same campaign. But if I had to redo this mission, I would not have minded. There's no annoying lava getting in my way. It's got a few interesting mechanics to it that I've not played in a boss battle before. I almost wanted to say I hadn't seen in a boss battle, but I have seen playthroughs of Shadow of the Colossus, so some of those elements I have seen before. Which is not a dig at this game. I think this boss battle, as I said before, is pretty cool. I hope that was a laser that I dodged past and not another weak spot I needed to hit. This is the only part of the boss battle that I can think of where I'm just kind of not really sure what to do here except hit this guy's face. Actually, I guess that was good enough. Never mind. Fuck you up.
Let me give you back your toy, then. didn't make any time for pillow talk. Bridge in these heels? I don't suppose I can call a cab to get me to the island.
Look alive, people! We have an unidentified vehicle approaching. Close the gate!
I told you there was nothing to worry about.
Mummy! Mummy saved us.
What?
Hello there, Cheshire.
Shit!
Mummy!
It seems your driving is on par with your journalism.
I figured I'd beat you to the island, but the guards had another idea, didn't they? Not really my best plan, huh?
You think you've got me figured out, don't you?
We journalists have to have some detective skills, you know? You're after a gemstone, and that stone has to be in the Ithaval Group building. I'm headed there too.
How odd. You seem to know where I'm going before I do. Yet you don't seem to know how to drive a car in a straight line.
What am I? A chauffeur?
Cheshire, do you have any idea what prolonged walking in this salty air will do to my hair?
Well, I tend to use some product when I go to the beach.
Little one, get down! Put your foot down, Cheshire. I'll take care of our pest problem.
Wonderful.
I'm getting the distinct impression I'm not wanted on that island. But I love it when people play hard to get.
And here we are on top of a truck. This is actually an interesting level. Like with the last mission, that boss battle, I did not replay this at all. But I didn't feel I needed to. The last mission we're going to get this video, I did have to replay several times, which I'll bitch about when we get there. And yeah, it took me a while to jump these without dying. I did discover this, that if I just start attacking in midair, that seems to keep me up longer and actually saved my life there. What's with the look of these vehicles? These do not look like normal cars. I assume they're not. Maybe we're in a future world or something? I don't know. I'm so happy I did not die there. I figured for sure that was going to happen. So this doesn't actually last very long, but it is something different, and this entire level is something different for this game, which is pretty cool. Although I do have to wonder how many innocent people die during this mission. I assume several. look, we're back on solid ground. Hooray! And we're not in ruins. Even better. Although I assume fighting on the highway has to be fairly easy for a developer to make in terms of an environment. I always love these fancy intros. And look, we get another interesting segment. A motorcycle segment. I'm not sure if there are any enemies here. I think there might be. And you just have to shoot. This section does last for quite some time. The only thing that gets annoying about it is a lot of these areas look the same. And I'm not sure if that's because I'm taking longer than you should to get through this, or if it just looks that way. I looked at a video after the fact, and they seemed to take a while too. And I got the impression the person doing that video knew what they were doing. It had no commentary. It's not awful. Somehow I survived it. And I do like that they're at least trying to add some variety to the game. I think something like this could have been done better, but I can't complain too much. And most of this is going to be fast forwarded. You'll see that here in a little bit, but I wanted you to see a little bit of it at normal speed first. The parts with all the obstacles will be fast forwarded. There's going to be a section with a bunch of what looks like lasers to me. The same stuff we were dodging. I don't know if it was last video or the video before that. I can't remember now. When we met up with that little girl. Whenever that was. It's been at least a week since I did that last video. Actually more. And I made it a whole month without drinking. Woohoo! 31 days! I love that perspective there. It looks really cool. Awesome. So this will be the rest of this mission, but there's another one attached to the video as well, so the rest of the video is not going to be all this. And I apologize if this fucks with anybody's head. Lots of flashing lights. It's kind of giving me a headache already, but I didn't really want to cut anything. And I do slow it down for these because I do like them. So we do get a little bit of difference here and there in that the climate has now changed, which I guess is something. Oh man, that's doing my head in, so I'm sure that's messing with other people as well. Apologies. Why was it cloudy and stormy and all of a sudden it's not anymore? All we did was go through a tunnel. So bizarre. Yeah, I specifically did not fast forward any of those because I think they're cool. Just have to be aware of obstacles that are going to come up. At some point there are going to be holes in the ground you have to avoid. And may or may not have issues with them. See, that wasn't too bad. Sure, that fast forward section was giving me a headache and probably will a few other people, but at least it didn't last too long. Now we just gotta make our way to the end. Not many challenges left. For this level anyways. He says as explosions start happening. Oh, that's another thing we had to avoid were explosions.
Holy crap! For fuck's sake, that's overdoing it!
Right! Turn right! Get off the road! I know you don't want me here, but you really could have been more subtle about it.
He's an angry monster. Or angel in this case. I'm still annoyed we haven't fought any demons yet. That'd be kind of nice. I've said before, I really don't like the idea of killing angels. I don't necessarily believe in karma, but it doesn't sit well with me. At least they look kind of cool. I think that's one of the things about the Bible. I think angels are actually portrayed as these badasses. Whereas in a lot of fiction, angels are shown as these cute little beings with wings.
Jesus. This is...
My dear sweet child, fear not, for I am watching over you.
Awesome. Oh, this level. That panther move will be very important for a lot of things in this level. So I recorded this level once. Me being visually impaired, it being my first time playing the level, you can imagine it did not go all that well. I could have cobbled together something and have done that in years past in LPs like this, but as I've talked about before, I like to re-record stuff so that I get the best run through a mission I can get, and for some reason, at this time when I was playing, I had a hard time finding this next area. Originally playing it didn't have a problem, but this time playing it I did. So I re-record it. I feel pretty good about what I did to re-record it. And Elgato fucked up. I know what caused it. Elgato is very weird when it interacts with the PS3 and the PS4. Still, I was not happy, because that meant I had to play this level again, which is what you're seeing now, which took several attempts because I died a lot on this level. But I don't think officially died. A lot of times it was just falling into a pit, which doesn't mean you die, you just lose health. But I wanted to cut any of that as well. Yeah, don't mind the jump cut there, this took a while. So not counting the 2 other previous times I completed this level, but even just this playthrough, it took me a couple of tries to get this. So I've already done this a couple of times because of jumping, trying to get to the next level and missing. If you could see there, this bridge just disappears. It's still there, but for whatever reason just goes invisible. I see what they were going for and it looks kind of cool, but it's really hard for me to see. I walked all the way around this thing and did not see that for a while, so that's why the jump cut. And I noticed on this attempt at this mission that these things are bobbing up and down, which also fucked with my head. What they were going for looks pretty cool. The light bridges I don't mind. I don't know why they disappear though. I'm guessing that's a graphical glitch in the PS3 version. I've heard this version is kind of buggy. I don't know if they fixed that on the PS4 remaster. I'm sure if I played this on the Switch, it probably would look just fine. But I'm not playing it on the Switch. I'm playing on the PS3, so this is what we're getting. So there are several times during this mission, you've already seen 2 of them, where we have to pick up these, what I'm going to call keys, but they might be like valve handles or something, from enemies that we fight, and then we activate these, whatever these things are, and they create light bridges, and then I have trouble seeing them, curse quite often, rage a few times, and then we make progress. The background music in this level is kind of cool. It seems like they're going for a heavenly vibe here, which makes sense considering angels are a key component of this game. I actually really like the background audio. It's only partially music and partially vocals. Get ready to hit that dodge and that panther attack a lot here. If you don't do the panther move, you die. You cannot move fast enough to get through this as far as I can tell without it. It's not too bad once I figured out what I needed to do. It ends in a quick time event, so be ready for that. The perspective is kind of cool. This game definitely feels ambitious. It seems like it just needed a little bit of polish. Finish up the cutscenes instead of that film reel crap. Get rid of the QTEs. Make a better story and we might have something. Every time I played this mission, I forgot this part. I'd get here and think, okay, what do I need to do? And then I forget about, oh yeah, I need to smash this thing so that I can activate this lever. Damn it, just grab onto it. I'm not sure why games feel like they need to have sections like this where you're cranking on something to, I guess, load the next area. God of War did this a lot. Thankfully, this is only the first time we've had this in this game. Although I could see it happen more. I think Soul Reaver had something similar to this. But I don't remember. I remember a lot of box pushing puzzles in Soul Reaver 1. And these annoying wind vent things that you had to use in Soul Reaver 2. By Defiance, they actually kind of figured out... They kind of fixed a lot of their gameplay issues I had with the Legacy of Kain series by Defiance. And created a few new ones. There are 5 of these things that we gotta break. Some of them will spawn enemies. One of them I'm gonna have a jump cut to because it takes me a while to find it, even though it's right where we are. And there's this thing that's gonna try to smash us every now and again. This one's gonna spawn an enemy, which is fine. I don't mind some killing. I think this part would be a little more interesting if it was made more like a puzzle where you had to break these in a certain order. I'm not complaining or anything, it just seems like it could have made it a little bit more interesting. But it is technically something different, so I can't complain too much. Somewhere to our left is that final one of these that we're going to have to break. I know where one is, the one over there by the stairs. So I was going to avoid that one right now. I was going to come back for it after getting the other two, since it's right where we need to be, and then I could get the key or valve handle, whatever it is. I wasn't sure if an enemy spawned, so I was just attacking a little bit just to make sure. I think the final two of these are going to spawn enemies. I was looking around and I was like, fine, I'll just go ahead and get this one. Just to get out of the way. But I wanted to save this one for last because we're going to be going up that staircase. I guess this thing that tries to smash you is adding a different dimension to this fight, but I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. I guess I'm more indifferent than anything else. It didn't cause me too many problems. Just more of an annoyance. I think we ended up over by the last of these things that we have to break anyways. But, of course, now I'm just trying to get out of the way. And then I'll cut over here. As you can see what I mean, it was just right here all along, but I couldn't see it. I don't know that I did well at this each time going through here. I would say I did the best this recording. I actually don't know how I got through this my first time doing this because I didn't know you needed to do all this. This is the only recording where I actually somewhat knew what I was doing. I still couldn't find that one. Get out of here. Nobody likes you. And I am very hungry now. Alas, I don't have too much good stuff to eat, so I'm probably going to be resorting to oatmeal. It is morning after all. I jumped down this pit a few times doing this. These things blend into the background, at least for me, so it's very hard for me to see where I'm going in this section. I'm sure it's obvious for people with normal vision, but for me, these platforms blend into the background. As you can see in the sky, there are a bunch of glowy gold lights as well. So certain platforming sections in here, it's really hard for me to see what to do. I'm not sure if this is some sort of a machine that we're fighting. It seemed like one to me. And if you haven't played this game before, well, you're about to see it. Damn you! And so many times I tried this fight, that's gotta be a machine. And Bayonetta would fall off the edge of this thing. And so I was resorting to just using my guns, which wasn't doing enough damage. As you can see, this thing hits fairly hard. I'm trying to dodge all that and then hit this thing. This is kind of what I did this fight, is staying on top of it and then just hitting it. Seems to work okay. You're gonna fall to your death once, but it's not a full-on death, it's just you lose some health. That's probably the best way to do this fight. That's what I do this time. I actually fought it fairly well my first attempt at fighting this thing. Yes, I cut her falling to her death. Give me a break. It wouldn't make sense in canon for the story if she fell to her death. I also went to the shop and bought a new sword. It says it's a production model of some sword, which I don't know if it's the same one we have or a different one. I also bought all the skills in the shop. Since I've been playing and replaying all these missions, I figured I might as well use the rings I'm picking up. This part caused me some issues, as you can imagine. If you know I'm visually impaired. If you've been with my channel for a while, then you know that's the case. If you're new, well, it's pretty cool once I knew what I was doing. Once I figured out what I was aiming for, I didn't have a problem with it. But I didn't realize I was aiming for a platform. Looking at it right now, how would you know that? And there it is. The first time I played this mission, that caused me a lot of issues because I had no idea what I was looking for. I like these things. They cause me no issues whatsoever. It's like they show up just to get killed, which is great. We are almost to the hardest bit, at least for me, in this mission. And I'm pretty sure you have to do the panther thing in order to make that jump. You can see I was talking about earlier in this video where when I'm using this thing a lot, you hear that stock sound effect a lot. This level also likes to try to smash you with things. What is this, Tomb Raider? There's also an extra area I stumbled to with some enemies you can kill. I assumed there's something extra, like a power-up in there that I missed. And yeah, I had issues with this part. It's just like that last part I was talking about where these platforms blend into the skyline for me, so I can't really see what I'm jumping to half the time. And then I'm trying to avoid these smashy things. I know I'm trying to get to a platform, but I had some issues with that. I think I got lucky there. Just let me on solid ground. Bayonetta, can you move? Thank you. I can pretty much see no difference between these platforms in the sky. While I think this level looks pretty cool, that is a poor choice. I think they could have been a lot more obvious about that. Maybe that's just my visual impairment, but I'm sure most people don't have an issue with that, but still, I feel like they could have done a better job with that. It does not contrast at all with the sky. Oh, one of those ghost snake things is running around there too, so be careful. It got me my 2 other attempts at this mission. Fortunately, I don't think I died this playthrough. I fell off some cliffs a few times. Once when I had no choice when I was fighting that machine thing that I was talking about before. There was really no other option on that one. Look, you keep trying to bring the pain, and you keep failing. Maybe you should realize that sometimes talking is the better approach. Maybe you should just try diplomacy for once. Because trying to make a ruckus is not benefiting you at all. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a video game. I don't mind the killing. But it's really not doing you any help. Yeah, whatever, Bayonetta. To be fair, she has more personality doing that than she has in the cutscenes. Y'all had a good night. I say night, it's morning where I'm at right now, but hey, whatever. Okay, so we just want to grab the remaining rings. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time with more Bayonetta.